I heard a song, the language lyrical, mystical. My soul leapt to greet it, touched by something inexplicable. A longing, yearning so deep. I wanted to make those sounds, sing those phrases, rhythms and melodies. A language of emotion, fear, begging, companionship and loss. I stood unable to move, falling in love with words I'd been taught long lost. Flowing, weaving, awakening, not understanding the meaning, curling and dancing around me. Gathering, whirling, weaving and turning and winding into my heart. Kernowic, a language, a gift I had never been given. My birthright denied, for our language had diminished, died. I wondered, was it lost in some dark corner, dust-covered, hidden, scattered along the edge of bays, in hidden chambers, fading, year by year, day by day? Kernowic, a language of community, stories, fairy tales and charms, the sound of the fisherman, the smuggler, the miner, farmer and mother. Did they mourn their lost words of love and life, like a distant memory across the years, or a hunger deep, like half-forgotten grief? Yet stories and lies had we been taught, smoke and mirrors which stood for naught, tales of a language faded away, discarded, forgotten. In truth, Kernowic was torn asunder from the hearts of men who marched, denounced by church and king, independent in spirit with souls burning bright, rebellious, dark-headed outlaws fighting a class war. A language stolen, one throat at a time, from men on their knees. How they must have feared our Cornovi cry, to sentence unarmed Cornish men to die. What is it they lacked in their hearts? Why this desire to break us apart? A new language forced down throats of children who spat sour words of anger and hate. Our language was not theirs to take. Kernowic was our spirit reaching into our soul, the beating pulse of the Cornish, the sound of connection, the voice of home. Yet Kernowic slept only for embers burnt on, all that rises and falls, rises anon, across Kernow from farmyard to seashore. Time turns and tumbles, ancient voices rumble. Timekeeper, heart healer, knowledge giver. Who were the centennials, gatekeepers, passing ancient texts hand to hand, hidden, unbound? The most simple and powerful revolution to save the Ordinalia. 500 years on, and plan and glory stands, and here we perform, connecting to the heavens, earth and land. We are the remembering through time and tide, to the voices of those men who died. It is time for the Ordinalia to play once more. Let the Cornovi war cry sound, from Coracaus to Pons Tamar. Our language is no longer bound. Speak out in ancient words, cough them up from hidden places. Chant and croon in full-throated liberty. Sharpen your claws and tongues. Dance, shout and sing as Ordinalia takes wing.
in the universe. Reports of unidentified matter, possibly atoms, amoebas, particles, sensed evolving and multiplying at varying speeds, at different locations. Moving, morphing, and bringing about some big questions. Later, we shall ponder on the following. Just what is happening? Where did it all begin? And when will it end? What is life? And just what, or whom, am I talking to? Am I really here? Am I actually alive? Da-na-na-na, da-da, da-da, bong.
Children come from heaven, their wings are newly clipped, their memories are awake still, their halos have not slipped. How long can they remember the places they came from? How long console them in their hearts and warm them like the sun? Can others who come near them know they will lead the way? They guide them to remain themselves so innocence can stay. The glory of a newborn matures into a child, but as the child becomes adult, that innocence turns wild. If we help them to remember the purpose of their birth, they'll know the meaning of their life, acknowledge their self-worth. The leaders of our future have bodies very small, but if we listen with our hearts, then they can guide us all. Love them with a love that's true, and see their inner glory. Then they'll know that they are safe to share their lifelong story. For fresh in their remembrance is the truth we seek to find. But pain has made us deaf, and fear has made us blind. We'll protect them from the fate that we ourselves have suffered. Then know that from the harm of life, our love has kept them buffered. We welcome all our children, for they know much more of life than those of us who have been lost in illusions of our strife. Lead us, please, dear children, we follow now your light. We hear the vision of your words and see with your clear sight. For as these children take the lead, their love will show the way to open up our hearts and minds to see a brand new day. To open up our hearts and minds to see a brand new day.
Noise, pollution, and diminishing light top the concerns. Mrs. X said, I've had countless sleepless nights due to the constant sound of soaring and hammering. Mr. Y said, 'tis not right. Why anyone should need something so humongous is beyond me. And little Johnny added, I asked nicely for my ball back when I accidentally kicked it over the wall, but now that ball is as high as the sky. The council has declined to comment on this matter, previously stating it is a domestic issue to be resolved calmly and sensibly by those involved. The chief constructor of the construction, a Mr. N. Ower, appeared to give a somewhat incomprehensible response to the growing number of complaints. Bah, ha ha, bah, ha ha, moo, moo. Nay, nay, said the selection spokespersons. A further request for information was greeted by buzz, buzz, e-or, e-or. A reputable translation is yet to be sourced. Is yet to be sourced. No, sorry. No, I didn't understand a word of it either, no. No, I think it's some sort of bovine language. No, I don't know. No, I don't. I'm not fluent in farming. You still on? You saying still on? Okay. Da 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 ball.
Hurrah, hurrah, the animals went in 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah, the animals went in 2 by 2, the elephant and the kangaroo, they all went into the ark for to get out of the rain.
all went into the yacht to get out again.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. My God's gonna trouble the water. Well, see those children dressed in black. God's gonna trouble the water. Well, they've come a long way and they ain't going back. God's gonna trouble the water. Come on and wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. My God's gonna trouble the water. Well, see those children dressed in white. God's gonna trouble the water. Well, they looked like the children of the Israelites. God's gonna trouble the water. Come on and wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. My God's gonna trouble the water. Well, see those children dressed in gold. God's gonna trouble the water. Well, they've come a long way and they ain't growing old. God's gonna trouble the water. Come on and wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. My God's gonna trouble the water.
Boom. Good afternoon. Quayside news. After a disappointing night on the water, local fishermen were left fixing their near empty nets. The arrival of a friendly traveller seemed to turn the tide. Fisherman A described how the stranger had, quote, something about him that made you want to listen to his words. He persuaded me to take out the boat again. He was like a good luck charm, for I had the biggest catch ever, unquote. Fisher B added, it seems stranger things have indeed happened at sea. Well, let's hope the farmers have a visit from this mystery man and just as much good fortune with their potato crops. To make fish to go with all those, to make chips to go with all those fish. Da 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 boom. to me, but I shall keep an open mind. So long as lobsters swim the sea, it might be Neptune or Poseidon. I don't care what name he's got, so long as I can stand beside him. When I'm holding up that heart, they say that heaven's in the clouds and hell is down below the sea. But till I see a lobster fly, it's the other way for me. Don't bother me how deep the sea is, or if the water's boiling hot. If I can spend the night hereafter with a lobster in a pot.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes my heart begins to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Oh, sometimes my heart begins to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when the sun refused to shine? Were you there when the sun refused to shine? Oh, sometimes my heart begins to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when the sun refused to shine? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Oh, sometimes my heart begins to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they laid him in the tomb?
Not only do we mistranslate words, but we can misunderstand each other. Human connection can get lost in translation. We peer out through personal ideas and projections. I cannot be you and you cannot be me. So how do we get to be one with each other? We all taste and feel, laugh and cry. We are the same on the inside. And we don't need a crucifixion to crucify us. Mother Nature cried that day in his name, in his pain. You can hear her sobbing like a mother each time someone suffers. We know not what we do to ourselves and to each other. Lost in translation are the ways of nature. The rivers are polluted. They are the blood. The forests are amputated and sold for gain. They are the lungs. The land is ripped open, pillaged and used. This is the body. been reduced to slavery, they are the heart. And the skies are no longer pure, this is the mind. Lost in translation are the words of many, like those calling for freedom, like those on their knees praying for salvation. The stories in histories are also today's ones. If we could live forever, maybe we could make a difference. But we get to keep the knowledge of the elders on paper so we don't have to make the same mistakes forever. To know there is always more to know, to let go of what we think we know and listen to each other. Building bridges, not crosses.
Yeah, it's just coming through now. Yep. Yeah, it's loading. Yep. Yeah, you're still on weather. Yep, that's fine. Yep. Yep, that's fine. Rolling now, and rolling now. Good afternoon. Angels, winged creatures, visual representation of celebration and commemoration, or something more otherworldly. In tonight's late programme, we shall be exploring the role of these fantasy figures, debating the pros and cons of wings, discussing the practicality of full-length floaty workwear, investigating the challenges and demands of seasonal winter employment, and the often precarious safety issues of working at heights. So, join us later for our special report. There's more to me than sitting on top of the Christmas tree. Da-da-da-da.